A good night of Shabbos, Parshas Vayishlach. I mean, it's already Erev Shabbos l'chaladeis. Yeah. אבל זה מה שיש. מתי שיש, אז יש. So then we know when it wasn't. So the tapping into what is going to wake up to when it wasn't, not while we're not trying to figure out why it's not and the reason why it's not. Pointing in all directions. But only to find the Shemesh, the Zarcha Shemesh, to find self. Everything is for the purpose of the evolution and for the advancement, going vater, not vater as in going into tomorrow, linear, but rather evolving. It's not walking one foot in front of the other, but rather it's evolution, which is evolution happens within. It's like an explosion, a soft explosion of a world, of a whole universe, of a whole existence from that we're experiencing from within, from evolution, where it happens from the center of the stomach. That's where a child is born from, and that's where our energetic children are being born from, going into the centerpiece, to the solar plexus, activating the will. And the will is because the whole world is existing from this it was a desire. It's different than will, but yet one leads to the other. We came out from, so to speak, from within the womb. Allah came up into his thought. Came up from where? Came up from where? A desire, and then a will, a desire, one triggers the other. And so that's the evolution. Evolution is happening from within, expansion. So everything that is happening to one, it's all to bring it in deeper to the inside, to bring it in deeper into the Yechidah Shebenefesh, into the center of the truth of the self, which is Chomer Ulevenim. Chomer Ulevenim is, we had this in Dara Flog, we had Chomer Ulevenim, we had Chomer Ulevenim in Mitzrayim, and we also have Chomer Ulevenim, by Nimr, that's what it is, Dara Flog. But in the Beis Hamikdash we only had stone. To me it sounds like a quartz type of stone. It's like, so thinking about what vibration, by the way, the Chomer Ulevenim is from the Rebbe Marash. He talks about it, so I overheard that. But then going to it, it was discussed that it's a different material. But then once I went into the energy of it, I'm like, okay, what's Chomer Ulevenim? What's the vibration of Chomer Ulevenim? When you're thinking, what do you feel when you think of Chomer Ulevenim, which is brick and block, the cement block? What do you feel when you're connecting to that? When you're like thinking of feeling, the thinking of the touch of metal, what does that feel? What does that feel in the body? Then bouncing off to the Chomer Ulevenim, which is, think of Chomer Ulevenim. Everything here is Chomer Ulevenim. The houses, and not anymore, now it's plastic. But the Chomer Ulevenim, brick and block, what's the vibration that comes out? Everything is cemented, there's no trees, there's no nature. What's the feeling that comes out of the vibration? It's a feeling of enslavement. It's a feeling of, because you can only vibe in the place that you're vibing in. You can vibe as much as the place you're vibing in. If you're in one space, you're vibrating, there's one vibe. You're in Manhattan, it's a different vibe. You're in Israel, it's a different vibe. But if you're in a vibration that is Chomer Ulevenim, what does that feel like? Everything is hard and it's rock, it's heavy, and you need a chip and a hammer, a pick to take it, and then just pieces are flying. Versus in the Beis Hamikdash, it was stone. Everything was stone, and it wasn't allowed, couldn't be cut with any metal. Nothing should stop the vibration, the natural vibration of this stone. You were only allowed to cut it with this a worm called shamir, which everybody knows the story or not. It's a different story. And this vadam was able to cut the stone just by walking on it. It split the stone. So it had to keep that vibration and cutting it from a place of, imagine the vibration of a worm. What type of vibration is that? What type of softness is there? What comes through that? But then at the same time, it's razor sharp, to the point, and it meets the vibration of the stone, which is the vibration of the stone. Everything is energy. Even the matter is also energy. It's just more condensed energy. But this one, if you can concentrate right through it, which is, you have these people that are able to chop through 10 blocks. It's the same concept. Very concentrated into the part that is empty, that's hollow, and going through that, connecting to that. It's a full surrender coming from an energy, from the chi, from the inside of the person, coming from that koyach. Okay, take out that word. Just a reference point. So b'kitzur ha'maaseh, cutting the stone, and that is the vibration of Beis Hamikdash, and that's where we need to go with this. Yutas Kislev, Parshas Vayishlach, that's what we need to go with, is to that vibration, to understand that everything that's happening to a person, it's beaming out gevuras, it's flashing out, coming out, and I have to use that to go inside with that. Find my inner self, my yechida, my oneness, my true identity. And that's not a feeling, or just it's a state of just being content. Can you do that? Can you be happy with just yourself without complaining about anything, about being or wanting or needing anything? Do we know how to do that? That is going into the stillness, Yitzchak Givina, going into the silence. Going into the silence. If something comes up and not, just breathe in, breathe out, whatever you need to do. So cutting it that way, going into the vibration. Now that vibration is what's coming into the Beis Hamikdash. It was perfectly cut, perfectly aligned. There was no talking inside. There was very deep meditation. There was a constant, people came with all types of karbonis, and they had to be in meditation for a specific tefillah, prayer, and oyes at tziruf that they had to hold in mind the whole time. And if they didn't, then the carbon was puzzle in some cases, this way or that way, machshava, and some with actions. So, Vayishlach Ya'akov Mla'achim. So this week, Yaakov also meets with Penikeil, Kerisi Alakim, Panam Panam, Tanatzal Nafshi. He saw it was face to face, Panam Panam. You can think about that. And so Yaakov sends the Mלאכים Eleisav Achiv. He sends the Mלאכים to go see. He sends out Mלאכים, angels. And they come back, and the vibration, whatever he receives back, it's not good. Abraham says, all the gevuras, he's fully not getting it, and he hasn't done anything more. It got, even more than that. He's done damage too. So we have to get to work, and this is where there's a showdown with Yaakov and Esav Sar, and it was a battle of the minds. It was machshava. It was fighting to the core, and the truth always wins. The truth always wins because it is the truth, and it is the center of everything. It's the center of the world, it's the center of everything, and then you have the Beis Hamikdash, which is the center of the world, center point. Okay. We should all find our shoyer and our chamoyer, also the tzayin and the evet and the shifcha, all these five beginners, because again the five levels of the neshama I saw somewhere. So you have to work on your shoyer, on your behema, your chamoyer, the eisel, whatever that is to you, whatever your donkey is in you, tzayin and the innocence, evet, the one that's enslaved or the one that needs kabbalah soil, to take on, and Shivcha, that's, I guess that's Talmud Bavli, Torah. So have an awesome Shabbos. It's Yutas Kislev. It's a big Shabbos. It's a Yontiv of for Hasidus, Yontiv of this language, Yontiv of everything that you understand more now, and you don't live in absolute enslavement where you're doing things because you have no idea what you're doing, and therefore you're frustrated, and that's why you can't get in touch with your true self, because it's a contradiction. Because really what your true self wants to do is exactly that, but since you're doing it because you don't know where you're doing it from, you're frustrated, so now you're in your own imprisonment. You can't do what you want to do, you hate what you want to do, and then you hate yourself for not being able to do that. But Chassidus comes and connects the dots and wakes up the inner child, the imagination, and gives us an opportunity to speak, broaden the language, put in new oisias, new tzirufim, new ways of thinking, new binyanim. So as you build these blocks from this stone, not from Chomer Levanim, but from higher level stone, crystals, quartz, that powder in the brain that you're just creating with, now a finer energy can come into that. Now you're akeli to receive a higher frequency of light, a softer light, more like stone, something that can vibrate, reverberate through a powdered stone, like that type of spiel. But anyway, yeah, it was very strong. Okay, good Shabbos, and yeah, we will see whoever shows to the Fabrengen, whoever can make it. L'chaim u'levrachim.